Okay, let's talk about trimming. It's not as easy as you think to cut out the spread for the album. You actually have to cut a little bit inside in order to give the effect of these photos that extend all the way to the edge. You don't want a little bit of white showing on the edge, right? So here I've shown the trim lines in blue. They're typically 3 millimeters or so within the spread. The problem happens if you have a small album, so not a big album like 25 by 25 centimeters, but a smaller albums. You see the distance here from this corner of the photo to the upper middle of the spread. It's the same as this distance from here to here. Okay, that's happened in the designer, so that looks good. But after trimming, you remove a little bit up here, down here, and then only on the left. So now we can actually, I have trimmed this, so I'll show you what it looks like. You can see here that the distance now from this corner to the upper middle is not the same. It's not 45 degrees, and it's not the same as this distance here. So this is not, aesthetically pleasing. So is there something we can do about this? Yes, there is. In RAD, we can do something called trim adjustment. Okay, and you can do this either during export or during the design. We can only do this during the design if we know what size album you're doing. So if you start, if you create a new album and you tell us it's going to be 20 by 20 centimeter from this album manufacturers, then we can do this trim adjustment and show the trim lines in the designer. And then the export is really easy and everything will look good. But if you create a universal album where we don't know the export size until you tell us, then we have to do the trim adjustment during export. So the trim adjustment moves the apertures, the holes for the photos, and resizes them so that after trimming it will still look good. Okay, so here you see that after trimming it will look like this, and the distance from here to here is the same as the distance here to here, so everything is fine. The price you have to pay for this is that what we started with, let me go back to this page, what we started with was a perfect square. Okay, now after trimming, because you remove a bit of the spread up here and here and here, the final page is no longer a perfect square. So to compensate for this, the trim adjustment algorithm needs to squash the apertures a little bit vertically, okay? So if you're not careful, if you place someone's fingers or a ring or something really close to the edge here, you have to be careful and look at the final exported spreads to make sure it hasn't been cropped away. Okay, you won't get these surprises when you specify an initial size for the album, because then it's what you see is what you get. What you see on the designer should be the same as what you see in the exported spread.